So you know that guy from Surfaces that has all those famous TikTok songs like Sunday Best and a lot of the other ones? He has his own thing now where it's just him. His name's Forrest Frank. I don't know if and a lot of his songs are popular on TikTok now too. I'm sure if you've been swiping it all in the last couple of weeks, you've heard a video with his song in it. It's not just specifically to Christian media, but he is a Christian artist. Crazy, I know, right? I don't know if you know that, but he is a Christian artist. And there's some beef that's going down that I think is crazy. I think it's crazy. Okay. He recently said he was no longer going to the Dove Awards. The Dove Awards is an award show for Christian media. He said he wasn't going to go because he felt like the act of taking a trophy that he was like pretty confident he was going to win. I mean, it was pretty obvious he was going to win some stuff. He just was like wrestling with, I think it's a bad motive for me. I think my conviction is that it's an idol for me now. So he opted out, and it was very, I think it was like multiple days before the actual event, he just decided, hey, I'm not going anymore. The thing that's been most surprising to me was when I first saw that, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Because for me, I'm just like, whatever. But what I noticed is there's a lot of like division around this. A lot of people are arguing one way. They're saying, hey, this is crazy. How could you? Yada, yada, yada. Some people think, hey, man, that's awesome. You do you. Let your conviction be your conviction. Okay. So the biggest thing I think I just have on my mind right now is like Jelly Roll. One of the things that happened is Jelly Roll kind of called him out. And Jelly Roll apparently was going to be here. Apparently Jelly Roll is a Christian now. Jelly Roll has multiple songs with multiple Christian artists now, and he was going to be seen at the Dove Awards as well. And he kind of comments, he's like, yo, so you have a problem with accepting an award, but for some reason, it's okay to profit from all this Christian music you're making. And it just had me be like, are we really going to do this Kanye thing over again? Kanye, you remember Kanye. Like, all of us remember Kanye, okay? And funny enough, what's crazy is right now he's having a rough time, okay? He's having a rough time in life right now, and I feel sorry for that guy. I feel bad. But we're not talking about Kanye. We're talking about like how people reacted to Kanye. I don't know if you remember this. Back in 2020, he released a worship or like a Christian album because he became a Christian and he started really diving in, and he was really wrestling with that. And so he made the best thing he did for himself was like express himself using his own talents. And he did that through music. He has an album called, what is it? I can't remember the name of that album. But he makes an album, right? And I remember listening to it and I was like, dang, this is actually really solid. Is this my favorite Christian album? And it still is. I think it still holds up. I actually, personally, I enjoy listening to it. Okay. I enjoy it. Okay. I'm just saying. If you notice, it didn't age very well. At least Kanye didn't age very well. Like what I think is crazy is he's doing all these events. I think what stands out to me is I remember seeing almost every single pastor who is kind of like a big name guy ends up meeting with him. They take a picture with him and then they post that picture on the internet. They're like, love you, Kanye. And it's like, I just want to harp on and jump on this topic of the fact that like Christian media wants to be famous so bad. Like famous Christians want to be famous so bad. Dove Awards being one example of these. But the other example or the other sort of thing on my mind is like how we're kind of interacting with Jelly Roll. It's like as soon as Jelly Roll says he's a Christian, now every single musician wants to have a collab with them. Now, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I don't know what their discussions are like. I don't know anything about them, okay? I'm just saying, okay? This is my thoughts. It's just like, really? I'm wrestling with this concept of like tying your name to somebody or something. Not that there's anything wrong with being a new Christian. Nothing wrong with that. It's actually amazing. I'm actually super excited for Jelly Roll. I think that's amazing for him. But, Christians should be marked by their works and like how they act and react specifically, I think is an important testament of someone's maturity and discernment and wisdom that they have in their own walk and like how the Lord is working within them. And I think it's frustrating when we have a new person to the scene. So, and this is what's crazy is like, well, there's a scene. Why is there a Christian scene? I don't get it. But you got someone like Jelly Roll come in and just start calling shots. He's bringing hip hop to Christian industry. He's calling shots out. We're just like, okay with that. And we're like, yeah, that's a good point, Jelly Roll. And in my opinion, how he acted, which was he got up on stage, accepted his award, and then like called a shot at Forrest Frank by basically saying like you're an idiot if you think accepting an award is a bad thing. Because look at all the good things that are happening from this award ceremony. And that I just don't think that was very mature of him, just personally. I just think that was like kind of petty and kind of proved Forrest Frank's point of why he didn't want to show up. Was he was just like, I don't want to make this a big deal, so I'm just not going to be there. Now, I've heard from friends that there's some, Forrest Frank had to put his name in the hat to get accepted for the award. So he like wanted to go originally, and he kind of bailed last minute. So from like the programming perspective, yeah, that's kind of frustrating, and kind of put a damper on the whole event. But the Holy Spirit speaks in inopportune times sometimes, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of like my take. So I think what I'm trying to get around to here is like I just don't understand why we have to make a bit, like here I am posting a video and making a big deal out of it. But then we make these things big deals. Like I think what frustrates me the most is within the one place that we shouldn't be making big deals out of stuff. Like we shouldn't be making big deals out of small issues, but we end up doing it, is like the Christian media space. Like for some strange reason, anytime anything happens, like every single pastor or every single spiritual leader has to like come forth and like kind of perfectly toe the line of what's the perfect thing to say without pissing anyone off, Actually, here's a perfect example. Is I was helping a company that's a Christian nonprofit with some short form videos, and we made a short form video for them where they were like, "Oh, what are like the top 10 biblical events you'd like to see in real life? Like what's a few moments in Bible history that you wish you could be there for?" And they went through their list, and we actually edited out this moment, but we should have kept it in, I guess. But they're like, well, discounting the crucifixion, because obviously that's the best moment in the entire world. Discounting that, I would want to see this. I would want to see this. I would want to be there for the building of the tabernacle. I'd want to be there for the birth of Jesus. I'd want to be there for this. So they're like naming all these things. And you get a few, the only comments we got were people saying, wow, not the crucifixion. Only the most important event in the whole history of the world. It's like, bro, you know what I mean? Like that just proves the point of like within the Christian space, the Christians are most petty with each other. Like half of the conflict that we have is with each other. Just saying. And here I am doing a drama video recap. I don't know. The one example of like, and I want to kind of go back to like what's going on with Jelly Roll and what happened with Kanye is like, it's another example that like surprises me though, is like a lot of Christian media's reaction to Russell Brand. Russell Brand comes on TikTok and he's like, hey, I think I'm a Christian now. Like I think I accepted Jesus and I'm wrestling with this now. And he's like very open and public about what he's working through, what he's wrestling with. And crickets. There's no Christian movies being made where they want Russell Brand in their movie. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know what goes on. Okay, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But you're not here to know what goes on behind the scenes. You're here to hear the ranting of a 31-year-old lunatic. I don't know. But yeah. So I just I think this beef really frustrated me, and I just wanted to talk about it. Let me know what you think about it. Okay. I feel like, anyways, I love you.